All right, moving along. What we got figured?
We have our first discussion topic.
Ooh,
Yes.
What we got?
You guys want to talk about the Grammys?
Oh, I never want to talk about
the Gram what?
I gotta admit, it was like a 15-year block where I forgot that Grammys existed.
Yeah.
Just this music was not. It was okay.
Childish Gambino won a few years back.
Okay, but
Sometimes they get it right with the pop music.
Yeah.
But
it's yeah.
I know.
It's hard. Okay, I think I want to talk specifically about the rock and alternative categories.
Yeah.
okay.
First off, there's not enough categories in pop and in hip hop and in rap. There are
Like 9 or 10, yeah.
like 9 or 10 subcategories.
Mm-hmm.
In rock, there's best rock performance, best alternative performance, best metal performance,
Mm-hmm.
best rock album, and best alternative album.
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
think there's best new as well.
First
There's
new-
6.
Yeah.
There's 6.
Yeah.
Okay, the only other categories that have less subcategories is Christian music,
Ooh.
and what was the other one?
It was historical music.
Historical.
What is historical music?
So
I'm not even sure.
so first off, alternative isn't a genre. It's just something that doesn't sound like you think it should sound.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So like alternative covers everything from Nirvana
Uh-huh.
to Blue Nicotine
Yeah.
to Luke Haney to Weezer.
I think alternative is like a cop out for people who don't know how to put things in the correct genre.
Well, it's like post punk. What the hell does that mean?
Exactly. Well, and even in metal, there's so many subgenres, subgenres
There's
in
even
metal.
There's even alt metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
And there's progressive metal.
My biggest problem with the alternative label is I know it probably happened this year. You'll see a lot of nominations for best metal performance, and then that same band is nominated for best alternative album.
Yeah.
I was like, even Grammys can make up their own mind.
They're making up their own rules. Okay, so this year, St. Vincent, which amazing artist, amazing
Oh,
band.
she's
St.
incredible.
She's
Yeah.
amazing.
She's incredible.
She got nominated for best rock performance and best alternative performance for 2 different songs from the same album. Like, I just like an explanation from the Grammys. Like, how do you distinguish what's a rock performance and what's an alternative performance?
So I think I need to propose something.
Okay.
Country music has its own awards.
Oh.
Can we not have the same for rock music?
Yeah.
Oh, let's do it.
What
We
I'm
should,
saying
we
though
should.
is, so me personally, I know I'm gonna get hate for this. I feel country is just an extension of pop music for the most part.
Nowadays, yes.
Nowadays,
yeah.
yes. I mean, the country from my era is not the same as a country from now.
Yeah.
But they have their own award show, and it's actually pretty good if you like country music, and it's pretty well represented as far as new artists go, the established artists, the older artists. So
Oh,
you'll still
except
have
Beyonce.
except Beyonce. Well, Beyonce and Shabuzi kind of mixing things up,
Yeah.
but you have the classics like Clint Black,
Mm-hmm.
Alan Jackson, even though he's
Yeah.
you got the newer stuff like I couldn't even name any, and then you got the newer stuff, so it's kind of well
Taylor Swift.
represented.
Yeah.
But you go to rock and it's like, hey, the Rolling Stones won a Grammy 50 years after they recorded this song.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm saying. Okay, so we got to take a look at the winners. And to that point, we're going to come back to the Rock Awards. We're going to come back to that. But out of St. Vincent, Idols, Pearl Jam,
What else was there?
you know who won Best Rock Performance? The Beatles.
90
The
years later.
Beatles. Okay, here's what. Okay, I'm not knocking the Beatles. I don't personally. I'm not jamming the Beatles all the time. I'm not one of those people like the Beatles are so important. I'm whatever. I'm whatever.
Mhm.
And I listen to the
So
song. I'm not
disappointing.
ignorant. I listen to that song. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's all right now
The
and
problem
then.
is, you had other nominees who released things this year or this past
Exactly.
couple
No,
years.
I'm a Beatles fan.
Okay.
I'll admit Lil Groompy is jamming Beatles left and right. I'm a
Okay,
Beatles
as you
fan.
should. Okay.
But I get the point. You re-release a song decades later, and
Yeah,
you're gonna award it instead of all these up and coming artists
Yeah.
that are putting out new music
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, and really, really good music. I get it.
Yes.
Idols isn't for everybody,
Yeah.
but their music is incredible.
and this new
Saint
album
Vincent
too.
is probably one of the best guitar players ever.
Yes. Absolutely.
Ever. She is incredible.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that the Beatles
Nope.
are 50 years later better than Idols
Yeah.
or Saint
Well,
Vincent or any of these other bands.
And it's not even about who's better. The fact of the matter is that this song Now and Then by the Beatles was recorded 50 years ago.
Yeah, the album was a compilation of their discography from 1967 to 1973.
Exactly. And it gets nominated for Best Rock Song in 2025.
That shouldn't be.
This
That
goes-
was nominated. It won.
It won
Yeah,
over Pearl Jam. At least Pearl Jam is putting out new music.
Yeah.
yeah. Pearl Jam,
Green Day had an
Gojira.
amazing
Green Day.
album.
Yep.
Yeah,
Right? And then you go over to Best Rock Album and you had Idols.
Hmm.
You had Green Day. You had all these great
Saint
bands. And who
Vincent.
won? The Rolling
Rolling
Stones.
Stones.
Well, the Rolling Stones, okay, I have some pretty controversial opinions about the Beatles,
Okay.
but the Rolling Stones, I think, did more for rock music than the Beatles did.
Mm.
The Beatles,
I agree.
Ooh.
the Beatles,
I agree.
by far,
Whoa.
I agree on that point.
the Beatles
Whoa.
shaped pop music.
I don't know if Groompy agrees with you.
Ooh.
I don't, but
But the Rolling Stones did
we
more
have
for
30
rock.
minutes, so
Okay.
I don't know.
Dude, the Hollies are better than the Beatles, by the way.
Okay. I will say,
As
to
you
your
should.
point, we got to separate it. The Beatles revolutionized the music industry.
yes.
The way we record things, the way they tour, the way they
Yeah,
market
promote, yeah.
and promote their music. The Beatles absolutely 100% revolutionized. But for the music, I agree with Mayhem. The Rolling Stones had such a bigger influence on the music because without let's figure it out. Without the Rolling Stones, you wouldn't have a Deep Purple or Led Zeppelin.
No, I'm not discrediting the
Yeah.
the Rolling Stones. Yes, they're pivotal. They're landmarks. Of course, they influence,
Mm-hmm.
but the Beatles walked so everyone else could run.
I
At least,
okay, I can appreciate that. I can
Okay.
appreciate that point. But like at the same time,
and if you're talking about the music, dear God,
no, the music's
just
great.
yesterday in itself, a magnificent piece of
I'm not saying they don't make great music. I'm gonna equate it to another thing you're gonna hate. The Red Hot Chili Peppers
Oh,
and Faith No More.
oh,
There would be no Red Hot Chili Peppers without Faith No More. I have the receipts over here.
oh,
Yeah, I said it. Mike Patton influenced more music that we listen to today than Anthony Kiedis and the Red Hot Chili Peppers ever did.
Dang.
that one stinks
This
too.
is-
Yeah.
Yikes.
Faith No More and Mr. Bungle.
I-
Go ask the Corns and the Deftones, Rage Against the Machines, where they got their influence from. All of them are going to say Mr.
Well-
Bungle.
well-
Are they going to say Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Well, Fieldy from Korn did say his direct influence was Flea.
yeah.
Yeah.
On the playing
Well,
bass
I'm not
guitar.
saying they didn't influence some of
Yeah.
it, but to have an impact on the music that we listen to today, the Red Hot Chili Peppers play funk, rock, metal, whatever.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to say their music isn't great. They have excellent music.
Well, according to the Grammys, they're alternative.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
Exactly. But Faith No More and Mr. Bungle have influenced the music that we love more than the
Okay.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's kind of
Ooh.
how I equate it.
Okay.
The Beatles made incredible music, and their music made an impact not just on some rock music, but on pop music in
Yeah,
general.
yes, I'm not.
I mean,
I will not discredit that. That is-
Jack White can name Beatles songs by like the first two
Yes.
notes,
Very true.
and their music is iconic. You cannot say enough. I
No.
can't say enough about the Red Hot Chili Peppers either. They're an incredible band,
No.
but they're no Rolling Stones, and they're
Yeah.
no Faith No More or Mr. Bungle.
Eesh.
Yeah, the
Ooh,
influence,
hot take. That's going to be a hot take video
the
on YouTube.
influence,
Dang.
the influence alone
Yeah.
on the music we listen today. I will take Rolling Stones Faith No More, and
Yeah.
Mr. Bungle.
But I mean, but going back, like, okay, the Rolling Stones winning best rock album. Don't get me wrong, Rolling Stones are amazing. I love the Rolling Stones just as much as anybody. But again, you know, you have a lot. And I'm not being like the Chapeau Roan fans. I'm like, oh my God, she should have won. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm just, there needs to be consideration for that. And I think what can help is expanding these subcategories of rock music, because the putting the Rolling Stones in the same camp as Green Day, to me, it's not who's better. They're just so different that I don't think there's a fair judge of their greatness, because it's like saying, oh well, Beyonce's better than Bon Iver.
Yeah, there's no comparison.
You can't compare it to.
You know, it's finally coming to me now. Another one that was nominated, one of my personal favorites, Brittany Howard, which just jammed in there too, and it's just completely different.
Yeah,
completely different in its own.
She was an alternative,
way.
right?
Yeah, she was an alternative.
But she plays like blues rock.
Yeah.
Like how is she not included in that? They include Beyonce in country because she made a country album.
Yeah.
But you can't include her in like another category.
And like, how about some of these like Latin artists like Maná? Do you put them in the Latin album or do you put them in the rock album?
Better than you two.
Oh, that's gonna be a hot take for another time.
Yes.
Yeah,
we'll do that.
I agree. I agree.
Anyway, for the hot
But
takes later.
that's hot take. Okay, but that's the thing, is the Grammys are doing such a big disservice. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of bands out there that just don't give a shit about the Grammys. Let's face it. I will say they did get it right with Metal Performance. Gojira with Mea Culpa.
That's the one.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean,
Yes.
as much as I would say Screaming Suicide by Metallica was such an amazing song, not a pivotal song, especially us talking about mental health and, you know, the importance of talking about it.
Oh yeah.
Mea Culpa was like, I had that on repeat ever since the Olympics.
We were jamming that song.
Right?
the other day.
I have to say, Gojira performing at the Olympics, at the opening ceremony in front of billions of people all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's the same pivotal event for metal music as when Metallica performed at the Grammys in 1989.
Well,
That level.
Gojira is the metal band now. They
Now,
are
yes.
they are metal right now.
Yes.
You can't get better than them.
No.
Yeah.
And you have the Gingers, the Spirit Boxes that are awesome.
Yeah.
But Gojira right now is just incredible. But what I will say is this. You guys remember when MTV played music?
They play music?
Back in,
no, like there's MTV still a thing. I thought music died.
what I will say is they got metal music right. You guys remember the Headbangers Ball?
Yes, they did. Yep.
They
absolutely.
had a show
No, I'm
dedicated
younger.
just to metal.
Yep.
And it was awesome because you got these metal artists coming up and just talking about metal music
Yeah.
like everything else didn't exist.
Yeah.
And MTV itself has categories for its awards
Yeah.
just for metal music, new metal,
New metal.
Yeah.
southern rock. Like they have so many categories
Yeah.
that I think it justifies rock music, not just metal, but all rock music to have its own award show.
Yeah, we got a chat. I remember when MTV used to play metal back then, or music back then.
Yeah.
They believe it or not,
Thank you, Fab Offer One.
yeah. It was one of those I guess eras when music actually was the most important thing.
Yeah. Because, I mean, you had bands. It wasn't just like the White Snakes and the Van Halens with the big hair. Like, you had some, like, I think Anthrax was on.
Oh yeah.
You had Faith No More, I think, was
Faith
on.
No More was
you had
on it.
a lot of these awesome bands that weren't getting on the radio.
Nope.
You know, I mean, Metallica didn't get on the radio till Injustice for All.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, for thrash metal bands, that was the only avenue. And so Metallica MTV provided that thing, like, to your point.
Yeah. And they played like the unedited version of like Unforgiven, right? Like the 7-minute
Yeah.
version of the video. Like you'll hear it on the radio, it's like 3 or 4 minutes long.
They
and
cut
they
out the most important parts.
exactly. And that's I think what MTV got right about metal music.
Yeah.
Now, reality TV is a whole different thing.
We'll get into
It
that
destroyed
in a
MTV.
different
Yeah,
day.
it destroyed MTV.
Well, I mean, even then, like Road Rules and The Real World, like
Yeah.
the old school ones were good. Now it's just
Yeah, well, the first Real World changed TV.
that
Like,
was the first reality
They
show.
talked about real stuff,
Yeah.
not Jersey Shore
Oh god.
hijinks, like real
Oh,
stuff.
God. Yeah, they did.
And they got it right at first, but then it became more popular than the music. And I think that's
That's gonna be another
Alright.
hot take. Which
I've
which season of Real World?
I've
was
got
the
a
best?
closing question for the discussion because we're running out of time here.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
What would you guys rate on like a letter scale of how the Grammys did this year?
F.
F.
Groompy?
Can we give him a G? To Mayhem's point, and I think there are medal awards. It's just
Mhm.
small, but I think
Yeah.
it needs to be all encompassing for rock,
Mhm.
for the emos.
Or
Mhm.
just give them their own awards, like
But-
the Country Music Awards.
yeah,
Mhm.
the rock music.
I mean, to
awards.
be fair, if you're gonna make a rock music awards, you know, the really, really rock bands
Yeah.
will not attend because only posers attend that
True.
stuff.
true. That's true. But either way, Grammys do better,
Please.
please.
And to your answer, I didn't even watch.
That's enough of a explanation for me.
Yeah, right.